In this video, I'm going to talk about Notebook LM and how it helps me study videos that I like from YouTube. You can see in this page, I already have it open, and I have here the 7 facts school failed to teach you about money. First thing first, when I click on the video, I open it in a new tab. Then I take the link of the video on the new tab and paste it inside Notebook LM.
In this video, I'm going to talk to you about money traps.
So I add here, choose YouTube, and pass the URL here. This is magical. Since I already have it there, the video uploaded. The first thing that I like is the mind map. Oh, I already have one generated. So I'm going to just use that one. The mind map of that video shows that Myron talks about money, not wealth, as the myth. Because a lot of people think when you have a lot of money, you're wealthy. Then he talks about time is not money. Number 4 is you don't need to make money with money. Number 5 is investing money is better than saving money. Number 6 is most valuable skill for making money, persuasion or selling. And the number 7 is money math. So basically, we learn the addition from left to right in the West, and the Chinese learn it from right to the left. If you want to learn more, you can watch the whole video. Done it, I've watched the video. I just want to show how instead of watching 10 hours of videos and not getting anything from it, you can use this tool to actually implement what you learn. So you click on the note, it goes to the different topics and how we elaborate. It starts by the misconceptions, and then the zero-sum game, and then what is wealth, and then where, and value creation, and then why creating value is hard. Then he explains time is not money. Basically, time is more valuable than money. The dangers of believing time is money. Rich versus poor people's value. Investing money for time. We can get deeper into it. I'm just trying to show the different notes to you so you understand how it can be beneficial to you in the future. Next, you don't need to have a job, because a lot of people have a misconception that work is having a job, but the two words means two different things. A job is a job and work is work. So even as a businessman, you work. Even as an entrepreneur, you work. It's not because you have a job that you work. But in everyday language, people misplace that. So if you quit your job, people are like, oh, you don't have work. No, it's not because you quit your job that you don't work. Even single mother, even new mothers who decide to go back to the workforce because they feel like staying at home and taking care of the kids is not having to work. But that work is harder than having a job, for real. And talking about entrepreneurship, working on yourself, transition strategies. This is a little bit easier to talk about because, yeah, I mean, keep your current job, start your side hustle until your side hustle can replace your job, then you can quit. That's basically what it means. I like having those notes because I like having it open because I can just click one time and it's already there. So number four, you don't need money to make money. And here you can explain one more time. And I like this because not only it gives you the key points that he talked about, but it shows me how he structured his speech because Myron is one of the person that I really like to listen to. And it's very simple, you know, three notes. Some speakers will go like more than this, but he keeps everything simple. He's a pro, and the amount of things that he can talk about in the amount of time that he has, the clarity, the stories that he tells, he's a master. And the myth is people think you need money to invest to make money all the time, but he demystified that basically you don't need money to make money. Sometimes you can make money without money. Having a capital is nicer, but that cannot hold you up. What is needed to make money? Creativity, cares for others, obsess over others' problems, solve others' problems. And then it takes the story of Colonel Sanders, who created, I think, KFC. He retired from the military and he got his first, how do you call that, social security check. He's like, hell no, I ain't gonna live on that. And he went around, and after thousands sales pitch, he finally got somebody who believed in him. And he built Kentucky Fried Chicken. The company is there until today. Investing money is better than saving money. A lot of people, all they learn is work, save money, but they don't realize that inflation eats up all your money you put in the bank, in a savings account. There are better vehicles to put your money. If you work hard, you can put it in the S&P 500 if you don't want to think about it. If you want to learn strategies, you can put it in a CD, which is okay, but it's doing better than the savings account. You can put it in the treasury. Like, there's so many bonds, so many ways to beat inflation because every time you put money in the bank, you're losing money, literally. So $10,000 you put today is not the same $10,000 you put a year from now because you got to pay interest on that money, and with the value in the inflation, it's totally losing its value. That's why you need to invest. You can invest in real estate. He took an example on real estate. He took an example on crypto, saying that his son talked to him about crypto in 2011, but he didn't listen to his son like every parent does. But now he listened to them because he could have been a billionaire by now if he had listened to his son back in 2011. So when I go back to this, it makes me remember some stories. And those that I don't remember, I'm gonna show you next step what I do. Then he talked about the other facts, most valuable skills for making money, selling and persuasion. Myron loves selling. That's that's what he does. I think this note he elaborated more. You can see that he really loves selling. First of all, he talked about a misconception where selling is not taught in school. People see it as under them because they only remember bad selling. The fact of the matter is, good selling is so good you didn't even know you sold. Like you watching this video, I didn't force you. I mean, I used the example he used, but basically, if you got this far, is because you're interested in the topic, and that means selling is working. It's not forceful, because when you're trying to convince people, it's negative. They will do it, but they will not enjoy it the same way as when they persuaded and they do it because they want to. So that's why you talk about good selling versus bad selling. Good selling feels seamless, feels like your idea. Bad selling is painful, convincing, forcing, and shaming. Selling is persuasion, basically, not convincing. Convincing is getting you to do what I desire for my reasons. Persuasion is helping you make a decision you already desire for your reasons. Sell respectfully. The last financial truth, money math. Yeah, like I said, the school system teaches backwards in the West. The board and what he meant. It was pretty interesting perspective using the Asian country example. And one of the reasons we struggle with money is because the way we did it in school, adding backward, is not automatic when we think about the way we use money daily. Like if you have 100 bills, $20 bills, $5 bills, $10 bills, $1 bill, you don't start counting the $1 bill. You start by the 100. So basically, you start from the front. So if you want to add 2,500 plus 7,500, you will start from the front, and it will give you 10,000. The 2 plus the 7 is 9. 5 and the 5 is 10. So the 9 becomes 10, and then you add the zeros. It's an interesting perspective. I will have to do more research on that. So after I download this mind map, because I'm a visual learner, I can come here and I ask, this is like a prompt. This chart is like ChatGPT basically. I said, turn this into a step-by-step guide with headings, bullets, and actionable steps. Here is a step-by-step guide that it gave me. So everything we talked about, money is not wealth, focus on creating value. Many people struggle financially, living in prosperous times, which suggests a potential setup to be set back. What is wealth? Wealth is defined as your ability to create value for someone other than yourself. Money is simply one of the results of creating value. It serves as a store and measure of the value you've brought to others. Where does value come from? Value creation stems from understanding what others deems valuable. This includes past perceived void, present perceived virtue, future perceived vision. I think I got it in my note. The actionable steps, you need to shift your focus from acquiring money to creating massive value for others. So that's basically because usually we get confused by the fact that people are interested in the deliverable. Like if you're selling coffee, you think people are interested in coffee. But most of the time, people are interested in the value coffee brings them. That's why you will see Starbucks will sell a cup of coffee. I don't know, is it $5 when you can have it at home for less than $1? But people still go to Starbucks because Starbucks represent a value, an ideal. When they drink their Starbucks, they feel that they belong in a tribe. They enjoy it, they have memories there. Maybe their first date, maybe their first job interview, maybe their first, I don't know, time to get paid. So people associate more with a value than the trinket or the thing that you think you're selling. And so instead of focusing on the description, the design, it's good to focus on those things. All right, that's how I go by studying those videos. Then you can go to the next money trap. Time is infinitely more valuable than money, like we talked about in a mind map. And you have like the wise time is more valuable. You cannot buy back time, and people intuitively know that their remaining time is worth more than money, because given the choice, individual will pay a significant amount of money to extend their life. Like if today somebody told you you knew you were gonna die today at midnight, but somebody say, okay, if you pay me, you can live longer. You would rather spend that money to live a little longer because you know your time is more valuable than money. And there's some dangers in believing that time is money. This belief leads people to waste a lot of time to save a little money, whereas inflation eating it, and sell a lot of their time for a little someone else's money. I mean, life is a choice. The difference between the rich and the poor is that the rich individual tends to value time more than money, while poor individual often value more money than time. And then there's some actionable steps for the number 2. You need to develop the discipline to start trading money for time, even if it's a little time. You need to hire in order to perform tasks you could do yourself, like cutting grass, housekeeping, fixing your car. That's how you buy back your time to be more creative, to develop your creativity and create value that someone else has desired. You don't have to have a job. The traditional equating of work with having a job is a misconception. Like I talked of the mind map. While entrepreneurs certainly work sometimes 16 hours a day, they don't necessarily have a job working for someone else. And I like how you describe entrepreneurs, like somebody who decides to quit his job. He works for somebody else for 8 hours a day to go work for himself for 16 hours a day. Yeah, that's a little funny. And the actionable step is it is not recommended to quit your job cold turkey. Instead, find a way to create value for someone else other than yourself on the side. For you don't need money to make money. To make money, you need creativity and enough care for other people to obsess over their problem long enough to figure out a solution. That's the example of Colonel Sanders, like I talk in the mind map. The actionable step here is to focus intensively on identifying and solving other people's problems. Investing money saving is better than saving money. Saving involves holding on to money for a later date. Investing involves putting money into something that will turn it into more. The action step is prioritize investing your money into assets that can appreciate and generate income over merely saving it. The more valuable skill for making money is persuasion. We talked about that. The actionable steps is develop your ability to pursue it. You can join Toastmasters, for example. So the last one is the backward method in Western country. Addition start from right to left. Yes, we talked about that. The 702,500 example that I took. So the actionable steps of practice, we learn addition from left to right. So that's the beginning on how I will study a video instead of watching additional videos. And if I find out a video that's interesting, I will just add it. Here you can add up to 50 files, PDF. You see the number here. So Notebook LM is a very good tool if you want to study and really develop your skills. Well, I will attach this on the video download and subscribe, hit the like button, download the video if you're interested, and let me know in the comment what you would like for me to talk about next.